So, Johann, welcome here at the Ducati dealership in Zaltbommel. Beautiful bikes here. I wanted to start with you about one of these bikes because I remember last year at Brno you had the beautiful long lap penalty, and afterwards you said that's because I ride a lot of laps with the Multistrada around France. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it was more like a joke, but it's true that as a road bike, I love the Multistrada. And when you go in a roundabout in the Multistrada, you have to take care of the grip and and many things. And it's that moment in Czech Republic when I got the long lap. Everybody was pretty impressed. Me during the race, I did it. I did it just I have to do. But when I watched it again, it's true that I was pretty impressed. And yeah, I got this joke. But it's true that maybe it's thanks to this because you have to be careful all the time.
And outside of training and racing, do you do a lot of riding just for fun?
Not really for fun. When I use the bike, it's really to move from point A to point B, to go to the physiotherapist, to go to the city, to do things. And I hate the traffic jam, so that's why motorbike is the best for me.
We completely agree. Now another bike we see here is the Panigale V4. We saw you using it a lot for training. Can you tell us how this bike prepares you for riding the MotoGP bike on the weekend?
The advantage of the V4S, there is also the V4 Air, but I'm using the V4S because like the engine is a little bit stronger and close with a very strong torque to get it close to the MotoGP, and it's very good balance bike. I think it's the fastest bike on the road bike compared to the other brands, and for me it's a good training for the speed because you go over, like in Barcelona I did 320, so that's quite fast. And you get your mind used to the speed, you get your mind and your body used to the torque of the bike. Then there is a limit on the brake and on the handling that for sure is not a MotoGP bike, but with good slick tire you can really work well many things and get the feeling at very high speed. So for me that's all the elements that I like to use.
Sounds like the perfect training. Now quickly, just your career growing up. When was the age when you started riding, and when did you ride your first race?
I started riding around 9 or 10 years old on the PW50, and then maybe almost the same year or 1 year after I could have the first race always in PW50 with young guy from the same area, and it's most of the time start in that way and then try to go up in the category. Then maybe 1 year after or 2 years after I got my first bike with a gearbox that you learn to change the gear. And it's growing up till the 2009 season. I was 19 years old in that time. I got my first GP.
Yeah, I remember you were also the very first Red Bull Rookies champion. Now, in your career, for most people, you are one of the most experienced MotoGP riders, but still, it's only your 5th season. You were 26 when you entered in MotoGP, 2 times world champion in Moto2 as well. Do you think that gave you some type of advantage when you entered the MotoGP class with a bit more experience?
Yeah, I mean, experience on the bike, sometimes I don't have much more than the other because the other rider, they start so young. So at the end, when I was 25 or 26 and I've been twice world champion, I got the same years of racing than another guy that is 5 years younger than me, and because he started much younger also. And but when I came in the MotoGP, the 2 titles they were really useful to immediately make the right step in the mind and adapt to the MotoGP.
Yeah. Now we've seen this year Raúl Fernandez is really impressive, also Pedro Acosta. After 3 races, some people say he needs to go to MotoGP immediately. What's your view when you hear things like that? What could you say about those things?
That's pretty difficult to know what is good to do. It's true that what Pedro Acosta is doing is incredible, but also what Fernandez, they are really, you can see that they feel everything, and they are they are controlling the bike very in a good way. They are not. It's not a random reading. It's really they can repeat it, and because you see that they feel it. But jump immediately MotoGP could work, and then they could be fast immediately. I think in MotoGP more for Raúl Fernandez than Acosta. Acosta I think need at least some year in Moto2. But the thing is, you can perform quickly in MotoGP, but when you perform too young, then maybe the time is getting long, and you have to grow up as a man, and that's the difficult thing of the life plus the sport. You can perform so much in the sport, but you also have to grow up as a man during your life. And sometimes grow up as a man is maybe better to do it a little bit more in Moto2 and then be ready for the MotoGP. Or if you are doing it in MotoGP, it can be more difficult because you have then more critics from the media and more pressure. So really have to analyze what is the best in the moment. But just by the skills, it seems they are like guys like Fernandez could be ready, I think.
You think it could be beneficial for team managers to just maybe wait a bit, see when riders are a bit more mature, and then, as you said, ready for the step in MotoGP?
Yeah, that would be better for the balance of the men, but because then is not only the balance of human people, but also business, then there are things that we cannot control.
Now, talking about this season, you started very strongly in Qatar, 2 second places. Then in Portimao was a bit of a disappointment. And then you came strong, really, with again podium finishes. How do you see this season as the first year in Pramac?
I'm seeing it very positive. I'm so happy to be second in the championship, have the chance to fight for the title. I don't get too much pressure on it, but I think step by step this pressure is coming, and when you have the opportunity to fight for the title, you cannot miss it. But clearly the target at the beginning of the year was to get a few podiums and enjoy with Pramac. But in the really deep mind it was to be able to be on the podium almost all the time, because the bike has the potential, I have also the experience, and the team knows pretty well what he has to do. So all these things, if you are feet on the ground and accept what is the situation, you can be on the podium. But it's easier to say than do it. But at the moment I could do it, so I try to keep this pressure on me to make a good job.
You think that being this constant is eventually going to pay off and maybe give you your first victory as well?
Yeah, that's anyway better to be constant, because you get always satisfaction with the constancy, and you have to be clever. So victory did not come yet, but I think I'm getting more and more ready to get victories and then enjoy even more the MotoGP category.
Now, finally, this weekend, it's the Dutch GT in Assen. You had a victory here in Moto2 in 2015, and as well your first MotoGP pole position in 2017. What's your opinion about this track? Is it one of your favorites? What can you tell about the TT circuit in Assen?
It's a pretty nice track. The good thing is this year that there's always a missing feeling of the track, because it's 2 years we are not coming. So when you come every year, you get used, but when you miss 1 year, you are happier to come back. I would not say it's one of my favorite tracks, because it's a track that sometimes was difficult to race, sometimes demanding physically. But now that I have more experience and I control much more the bike, I look forward to race on it, and I hope to be very fast, because I think now the Ducati can be fast everywhere, and if I can also enjoy it, I will be the first one happy.
So new asphalt, GP21. You think podium is possible? Maybe catch that first victory?
I need to keep the light on for this target, and a lot of things are possible. So I don't say no. I say yes, it's possible, but clearly we have to. I have to push a lot to make it true.
Thank you very much, Johan. We wish you all the best for this weekend.